home visits are one of my favorite parts of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, just being able to, put yourself in an uncomfortable position, just like our neighbors are in an uncomfortable position, and being able to just listen to them and talk with them. My favorite home visits are when there's kids. Maybe it's just because I like to fool around, and so it's fun to interact with them. So a lot of times we'll bring like a coloring book or things for them to play with while we're meeting. So a lot of my favorite interactions have been, when you bring a coloring book in and two siblings are on the floor and they're coloring it in while you're talking with mom, and before they go, they put a big heart on it and give it to you. And so I have plenty of coloring pages that I have framed and I keep with me because it just reminds us of what we do and why we do it.
Ago now, my wife and I went on a home visit together. And there's a trailer park where we live. We deal with rural poverty where we live, and sometimes that can be even more insidious than urban poverty because it's less visible and there are less resources. But this one woman was in a trailer park, so we went and visited her, and she was out of gas or propane. She also needed to rent the land that the trailer was on. So there were a few needs that she had, and we were going over to talk to her. And it was a rainy night, I remember. It was raining pretty bad. And we got to the door and she invited us in and we sat down. And I don't know what made us do it that night. I'm not sure we had done it a great deal before, but we just said, "What's going on? What's your story?" 45 minutes to an hour later, the woman stopped and took a breath. And she said, she says, "I feel so light." She says, "I have not been able to tell that story to anybody." And we helped her. We actually got her into a sustainable position, but really what she needed most was somebody to listen. And what my wife and I learned that night was to stop and take the time to listen. The stories are powerful, and people need to feel like they're human.
One is one of the first visits my wife and I went on, and it was a man who rode his bike to work every day and back 7 miles because he didn't have a car, but he had 10 kids. And there was always more month than money, even with food stamps. And so he called us for help with food. It was the end of a month. And so we come with the groceries, and all these kids come tumbling out the house to help carry him in. This one little girl grabs a gallon of milk, she turns around towards the house, and she danced back to the house with this gallon of milk. And I remembered Gandhi once said, "There's some people so poor they can only see God in a piece of bread." But I was looking at her, and the only thing I could think was, the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these.
The society is such an awesome way that we're able to live out our faith and be that example of what it truly means to be a Catholic and a Christian in today's world.
When we go to visit the neighbors in need in their homes and we see Christ, and you really receive this grace from God.
I found it very easy to see the face of Christ in those we serve over the years that I've served. But we also have to reflect that loving face back to Christ. But that's the part of that Vincentian charism, that incredible gift of the Holy Spirit that speaks to me most.